Arkansas is often praised with the nickname the natural state, with forests, rivers, and beautiful scenery. But shift your focus just a bit from that beauty, and you'll find a string of small towns where life is far from picture perfect. Populations are shrinking, economies are at a standstill, and public facilities sometimes exist in name only. Some were once booming mining towns, now nearly ghost towns. Others are farming communities where people are slowly leaving to find better lives elsewhere. This is our journey through 15 of the most remote and struggling towns in Arkansas. Calico Rock. Let's start with Calico Rock, a small town in Izard County, Arkansas, with a population of around 2,000 people as of 2025. The name might sound charming, but life here isn't always peaceful. The economy is tough. The average household income is about $26,250, and nearly 20% of the residents live below the poverty line. A historic park district was created to attract visitors, but in reality, the town has limited infrastructure, few public services, and occasional flooding that damages its historic buildings. Calico Rock is a clear example of a town with two faces, beautiful on the surface, but full of challenges underneath. East Calico Rock. While Calico Rock still has signs of life, East Calico Rock is its darker shadow. This area is better known by its nickname, Peppersauce Ghost Town. It was once bustling with bars, shops, and simple homes for miners and White River fishermen. But over time, it was abandoned. Buildings decayed, streets fell silent, and dark stories began to emerge. Its reputation was so bad, East Calico Rock was once called the roughest part of town. The population is nearly non-existent, the economy is dead, and what remains is just the ghost of a town within a town. That's why East Calico Rock makes the list of worst remote or small towns. Not just remote, but barely holding on to existence. Murfreesboro. At first glance, this town sounds promising. With a population of just about 1,500, it's home to one of the most unique attractions in the U.S., Crater of Diamonds State Park, the only diamond mine in the world open to the public. Thousands of tourists visit each year hoping to strike it rich. But behind that sparkle, daily life for residents isn't so bright. The median household income is only about $37,000, far below the national average, and the poverty rate hovers around 20%. The economy depends heavily on seasonal tourism, and once the visitors leave, the town falls back into quiet isolation. Big Flat. The town's name sounds simple, and honestly, so is the reality. With an official population of just around 90 people, it's one of the smallest towns in Arkansas. With numbers that low, don't expect full amenities, no real stores, no schools, and definitely no major healthcare centers. Big Flat's economy is nearly at a standstill. The median household income is under $25,000, and many families live with limited resources. While its location in the Ozark National Forest is beautiful to look at, the town's remoteness makes it hard for residents to access even basic services. Yellville. With a population of about 1,200, Yellville looks like a quiet Ozark town. But what puts it on the worst list isn't just its stagnant economy or the median income of around $33,000. It's a controversial festival the town used to host. For decades, Yellville held an annual event called Turkey Trot, where live turkeys were dropped from small planes into a crowd. The tradition drew national criticism and protests from animal rights groups. Although the controversy has since died down, the reputation still lingers. So Yellville isn't just remote and economically struggling, it's also remembered for a tradition that made people shake their heads. Cotter, once nicknamed the Trout Capital of the USA, Cotter sits along the White River, known for its trout fishing. Back in the day, it was a hub for fishing, commerce, and even had an iconic 1930s bridge that locals took pride in. But today, the population is down to around 980, and the economy has sharply declined. The median household income is about $28,000, with a poverty rate around 16%. Many local businesses have closed, the small school is struggling, and most young people are leaving for bigger cities. While Cotter still attracts seasonal anglers and tourists, daily life here is far from lively. The town feels more like a shadow of its former glory. Amity. The town name might sound friendly, but life on the ground is tough. Amity has a population of just around 677, with a median household income of about $32,000. Nearly a quarter of its residents live below the poverty line, and job opportunities are extremely limited. Amity once had a thriving timber industry that supported the local economy, but as that declined, the town has struggled to stay afloat. Many young people have moved away in search of work, leaving behind a town that's grown quieter and quieter. While it's still known among nature lovers for its proximity to the Ouachita Mountains, the natural beauty hasn't been enough to lift the quality of life, earning Amity a spot on the list of Arkansas's worst remote/small towns. Glenwood. This small town sits at the base of the Ouachita Mountains, with a population of around 2,100. Its location along the Cotter River actually gives it incredible potential for outdoor tourism, rafting, fishing, and tubing in the summer. But behind the charm, Glenwood faces real challenges. The median household income is around $34,000, with nearly 26% of residents living in poverty. The local economy depends heavily on seasonal tourism and small businesses, so when visitors stop coming, the town slows down fast. Infrastructure is limited, from healthcare facilities to access to larger job markets. Camden. Once known for its industrial strength, Camden now faces more sobering realities. The town has a population of about 10,000 and a median household income of roughly $51,300. That might not seem too low for a small town, but nearly 19% of residents still live below the poverty line. Old factory buildings and industrial facilities still stand, but many local businesses have shut down, and steady work is hard to come by. Public services like schools and hospitals struggle with tight budgets. Even though the cost of living in Camden is lower than in many other places, the economic gap is clear. Many families are stuck between rising basic costs and stagnant opportunities. Parkdale. If Camden still feels like a struggling industrial town, Parkdale is a different story entirely. This tiny town in Ashley County has a population of just around 166 people, fewer than the number of students in a typical high school. The median household income is about $41,000, but per capita income is only around $16,000, making day-to-day life feel tight. What puts Parkdale on the list of worst small towns isn't just the economic numbers, but also how isolated it is. It's far from major services, job opportunities are scarce, and public facilities are limited, making everyday life a real challenge. Mansfield. This small town of about 1,100 people once had its heyday as a coal mining hub. But after that industry collapsed, Mansfield seemed to lose its lifeline. Today, the median household income is roughly $54,000. But ironically, nearly a third of residents live below the poverty line. Another issue is access. Located on the border of Scott and Sebastian counties, Mansfield feels a bit cut off. The local school has seen declining enrollment as the population continues to shrink. And while traces of its former identity remain, a small stadium, old rail tracks, and buildings from its mining days, they now feel more like relics of the past than signs of a new future. Marked Tree. Even the name sounds intriguing, doesn't it? This small town in Poinsett County has about 2,200 residents, and its name comes from a tree once used as a river marker, guiding travelers to cut across land instead of paddling a longer water route. But beyond the quirky name, life here isn't so simple. The median household income is around $45,000, yet nearly 30% of residents live below the poverty line. Many local businesses have shut down. Job opportunities are limited, and if you need more complete services, you'll likely have to leave town. Hughes. This small town in St. Francis County was once busy, known as a hub for cotton farming. But now, its population has dropped sharply. From thousands in its prime, only around 952 people remain today. The economy in Hughes is tough. The median household income is just about $26,000, well below the state average. Nearly 42% of residents live below the poverty line, which consistently places Hughes among the poorest towns in Arkansas. What makes things feel even bleaker is the closure of Hughes High School in 2015 due to the dwindling number of students. Imagine, a school that was once the heart of the community now sits empty, a symbol of the town's decline. West Memphis. After Hughes High School closed, many students had to travel far to West Memphis. This city is clearly larger, with a population of around 23,000, so it feels much busier than Hughes, which continues to empty out. But don't imagine West Memphis as a land of opportunity. Even though it's the largest city in Crittenden County, the median household income is just about $27,000. and nearly 41% of its residents live below the poverty line. Crime is also a long-standing issue here. West Memphis has one of the highest crime rates in Arkansas. It's a city stuck at a crossroads, right next to the glitz of Memphis, Tennessee, but still struggling with poverty, safety issues, and a poor public image. Pine Bluff. With a population of around 38,000, Pine Bluff is actually one of the larger cities in Arkansas. But ironically, it's often ranked as one of the worst places to live. Why? A combination of economic stagnation, high crime rates, and a shrinking population. The median household income is only around $41,000, and more than 26% of its residents live below the poverty line. The crime rate is also among the highest in the state, from robberies and theft to gun violence. Pine Bluff once had a reputation as an industrial city and a center for cotton trade, but today, many factories are closed, stores are empty, and abandoned buildings are a common sight. The city reflects the harsh reality of the Arkansas Delta. Potential is there, but deep social and economic problems overshadow any trace of its former shine.